Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Desi Susanti. Here I want to explain about the translation methods. Actually, there are many kinds of translation method. There are many kinds of translation method like word for word translation, faithful translation, semantic translation, adaptation translation, word for word translation, idiomatic translation, communicative translation, and translation that we get from Google Translate. And here I wanna explain the word about translation methods. First, word for word translation. Actually, word for word translation it's mean that we are translate the word. It's a word for word, one by one. So, for example, I wanna go home. So I wanna go home. We just translate the words. First, I Indonesia. It's aku. For example, wanna. It's mean like want to. So we need to translate word for word. We need to know what is I, what is wanna or want to go and home. So we are translate word by word. And the next is about faithful translation. Faithful translation it's mean that we are translate the word but with the original text. For example, I wanna go home. From I wanna go home, when we translate word by word, it's mean that saya wanna ingin pergi home rumah. Saya ingin pergi rumah. But in faithful translation, we are original text. Original text. It means that saya ingin pergi rumah. Saya ingin pergi rumah. But in one sentences. But in word for word translation, it's just one by one. But in faithful translation, it's one sentences. And the next is about free translation. Free translation it's mean that we are free to translate, but the important thing is just about the meaning that we want to share, or what we want to say to another people, they understand or not, because the important thing is just about the meaning. So one of the example how to use the free translation is use paraphrase. So the paraphrase usually after we read the text we need to after we read the story, for example, and after we read the story we need to explain to our friends, but with our own word, because the important thing is just to make our friends understand about what we are saying. So we call it free translation. And the next is about idiomatic translation. Idiomatic translation it's like slang word, because usually the original sentence it will be different with translation. For example, Blue Monday. For example, Blue Monday. Actually, Blue Monday, if you translate word by word, blue is biru and Monday Senin. Blue Monday, if you use the idiomatic translation, it's mean that hari yang lelah. Yeah, hari yang lelah. And the next point is about communicative translation. Actually, communicative translation is mean that our job is just make when we communicate with other people, it's mean that there is a question and answer. So when other people ask to me, for example, by English language, so I need to answer that questions by with my own word, uh, uh, with my own word directly. So we don't have a time to think about what that question about or what she is talk about. But the one thing that we should know is we are just need to answer that questions because we are communicate each other. So in communicative translation, it's mean that we are think and speak. We are think and speak between one person to another person, but make sure that the text that you, the text or the language or the word that you talk about, it's the choice of word. It uh, must be more easy to understand because the communicative translation it's mean that sharing between speaker and listener. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.